what's up? You are watching the Queen of the South after show. We have a special guest with us today. You've seen him before and you're about to hear from him again. We'll be talking about episode 12, Todas las Horas Hieren, and I really hope I pronounced that right. If not, you'll find out in the rest of the show, so tune in.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It's a hard line when you're an import, baby boy. It's hard times when you ain't
so
for it. Races feed the belly of the beast with they bitch for
Hey! Yes, despertaron. It's a whole awakening. Got it? No.
Oh, she almost got it.
She almost had it.
Lena shoes up. No, I'm done. I'm sorry. I do not have a rap career, and that's okay.
It's okay.
But you know what? When I'm by myself in my car,
It sounds great, right?
I'm great. I could really have a promising career.
I believe you. It's okay.
Thanks. Now that my face is red. Anyways, hey guys! Thanks for watching that train wreck. You're listening to Immigrants We Get the Job Done. It's off the Hamilton mixtape, and it features Riz MC, my favorite, and our girl Snow the Product, who couldn't be with us today. Oh, no, we couldn't get her, so we settled for someone else.
Snow Product has a beard now.
You know.
I'm a lot like Snow in a lot of ways, except for like all of the talents and like the good looks and stuff like that. Like, but other than that, we're exactly
the same.
You can
I
drop
thought this
a
was
sick beat, right?
you
In
and
rap?
Lydia.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I can't right now because my voice is, you know, it's.
At least I tried. Okay. Oh my gosh. And for those of you who for some reason are just joining us and don't know who the hell you're listening or watching right now, my name is Leslie Ambriz. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at In Less Than No Time. I'm joined by my homegirl here.
What's up, guys? It's Candice Cruz, and you can find me on all my social media at Candice R. Cruz.
My name is Ryan Onan, and my Twitter is I am Ryan Onan, and my Instagram is Onan the Barbarian.
I love your Instagram name.
Oh.
That's great.
Hey everybody, it's Ashley Allan here. You can find me on all social media at Ashley Reed Allen.
There
That's
we
how
go.
you do it.
That's how you do it.
She does it so smooth too.
Boom.
Ashley Reed Allen backs up.
It
What?
backs up.
There I am.
Boom.
Here I am.
She's channeling
Follow.
the Camila from last time.
Yes.
Girl.
You know,
Oh, let's hear it.
you know, James. Epifanio saved me. So now we have to take over. Boom.
Oh,
She
there
got it down.
Yep,
is.
she's got it.
There she is. And if you haven't guessed already, we are joined by Ryan once again. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
Thanks for having me back, guys.
We needed
Of
round
course.
2.
And
Just have you once.
not only are you a guest, but you also are starring and writing this whole episode.
I did write this episode.
Yeah.
This crazy episode.
Of course you brought
Great
back
episode.
Elisardo and all the freaky crap that I couldn't handle.
I love the little angels.
Listen, I'm not babysitting anybody's kids anytime
No.
soon after this episode.
You're going to turn around and the kid's going to have
Gonna have the mask on?
No, thank you.
I just picture, what was that movie from where it goes,
Psycho.
Psycho.
thank you. I don't like horror movies, clearly.
Fair enough.
I'm not a person that watches scary
No,
shit.
same.
No.
Never.
I just know that sound.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Clearly we have fun here.
This episode, though, it's got me all shook up.
It really
It's
does.
flustered, I
As the
can't
kids
talk.
say, I'm shook. I'm shook. I'm so shook. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. So this episode, and Santos back, starts off strong, killing somebody. And
Killing
rubbing blood on a little girl.
I don't think he killed somebody.
a
He killed a
goat.
goat.
Whoa.
That's not
Sacrifice.
somebody.
A goat is somebody.
Oh.
His name was
The
Jim.
greatest
Oh,
of
no.
all time.
He had
The
a
greatest of all
family.
time.
Poor
It was
Jim.
really sad.
Did you? Wait.
Did
no,
you guys
what?
name it?
No.
Yeah, no, it was a real goat. It wasn't a real goat.
Oh, God,
I
don't
was gonna
scare
say-
me
Movie
like that.
magic.
Moment of silence for the goat.
Yeah.
Right?
I was like, damn.
No animals were harmed in the filming of this TV show.
Whatever. Someone, something.
I remember when the editor first showed me though that moment, you know, when he goes, Bob, like it's so visceral. Like he did
yeah.
he did a really good job with the sound that he put in it. So, yeah.
I can't imagine sitting for hours editing that.
Right?
Watching.
Ugh. But the creepiest
Smith.
part of that killed me was going over and putting the blood on the little girl's face. She doesn't flinch.
Yeah.
She just stands there. She takes
I
it.
love that little girl.
But then they give her a knife, and I was like, oh my God, she's going to have to kill herself. Because the way that the lines were leading up,
Yeah.
it made me think that she was going to be sacrificed and sacrifice herself. I was like, oh my God, I can't watch this.
Nope. Yeah.
That was just my own mind playing tricks on me, but still.
Just, like your mind always goes to the worst
Yes.
idea possible when you're watching TV shows or movies. You're like, oh, all the worst things I could think of are about to happen.
There were some worse
The little
things that
girls
happened
killed
in this.
themselves.
No.
Don't
Put that in his head.
Don't get any ideas. Friends in the booth, can we get the live chat up to see what our friends on YouTube are saying? So after we get that terrifying small scene, we find out that El Santo's coming for Teresa with the little girl and his minion or his henchman.
I love that the little girl's commanding the
know.
gentleman. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
girl, okay.
Like he's
Starting those bosses young.
literally just a muscle with a bloody
Yeah.
sword.
Yeah,
But we'll
he was
get-
called the Guardian in the script.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah, it's
He had
really
no
intense.
lines and so much power.
He's a cop in real life.
Really?
Is he?
Yeah. He was like a Dallas cop. Big dude.
How did you guys
So
find
not
him?
an actor? You just found him on the street and we're like, you.
No, he was.
We need you.
That would be awesome. No, he auditioned for it. Yeah,
Okay.
and got him.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, and there he is. And our friends are live, and here they are on the live chat.
WTF.
Sorry that we're a little late, guys. We
Sorry.
had some
Technical difficulties.
When will they have Boaz on?
Oh.
Boaz is coming.
He's coming, guys.
He's coming.
Should we tell them the surprise now?
Yeah, we'll tell you now. We'll
Okay.
tell you. So we have Yancy Arias. He's coming next week. But we also have a special
Whoop, whoop.
season finale recap for y'all. And Boaz or JT will be here and we'll be talking about the entire season. So for all y'all in the live chat, be ready.
It's a 2-for-1 next week.
Yeah, 2 hours of your time. Pull up some popcorn, get some ice cream, all the above. All the goods, whatever you want. So you guys, shout out to Ryan. Tell him it's Gustavo and thanks for all the help. I'm assuming you'll know what that
What's
means.
up, Gustavo? Oh, sorry. I was looking at the Yo.
And then, okay, well, you guys keep chatting and then we'll jump in.
Yeah, keep it going.
when we
Keep
need
it
to.
going.
Yeah, keep going, please. So, and then coming back here, Teresa's finally establishing her throne. This is it. This is the beginning. She meets up.
Wait,
with,
is that the actual Gustavo? Is that Pedro?
I don't know. It's Gustavo Hernandez.
If it
Do you
is,
know him?
Oh,
killer, man.
hey, Gustavo.
Is that him?
Give us a shout out if you're in the live chat. Let us know.
This is the no. Oh my god.
But
I'm legitimately all over the place this episode. Okay, so Teresa's here. She's establishing her throne. We have King George and Devin, who are her first official meetup. Because we always saw Camila having her meetups.
Right.
You know, she was the one that was in charge. And now this is Teresa's first partner meeting. King George was not in all the way. No. It took him a while.
He had a hard run in episode 10.
how many people did you lose?
Actually, it was like 12 and a half.
Half.
How did you do that? Okay, I'm not gonna ask. I was like, wait,
Somebody was
12 and a
crawling
half.
away.
no.
I'm just joking. No.
Oh, it is.
It's
It's Pedro.
Pedro.
He is.
Yes.
What's up, dude? Oh,
Hey.
stay in the chat because we got a lot.
Yeah.
A lot to ask you.
The best.
Mm.
You
Oh my
dirty,
gosh.
dirty fucking dog. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I didn't know what
The
I didn't know
accent, though.
I didn't
It wasn't what you said.
Sorry.
I was like, the accent.
Bleep it.
I know,
I
that's
just-
like, who is
The
sorry.
accent, we were just like, what?
Sorry, man.
No,
I was,
it's fine.
I was
Is that-
harnessing my
Is that
my
like an inside joke between you?
James.
All the accents.
No.
Though. I love them. King George, British. Where else you got for us?
Oh, let's hear it all.
Can you do
yeah.
this whole thing in King George voice?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
that'd be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
Would you'd rather?
I would love that. That
Try
was so
it.
much fun.
I mean, I tried rapping live, so I think if
You-
I
you
can
did-
do
you
that, you
did.
can try.
So if we ask
for
you
a
questions
few
about King
minutes.
George, can you answer it in King George voice? Just
God, that would get so annoying. I feel like
For,
that-
like,
I'd
one
look like such
question.
All right, all right.
Okay, one
Okay, as King George, what took you so long to join Teresa's side?
Well, I just don't know if Teresa's like, you know, if she's like trustworthy or not. If I can follow her, she's got to prove herself as a leader. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Come on now. I can't do it. I'm on the spot.
We've got Camila, we got King George, we got
Pathetic.
a rapper.
I'm sorry,
I gotta
guys.
figure out where I'm at.
I know. We got it
We'll
all.
figure it out
This
eventually.
girl's got to prove herself.
We have, you're the last one.
I know.
We need to hear some impression from you. So
do a
King
mean
George
Pote.
eventually,
Yes,
do it.
I'll
Go
do it
real
when we get
quick.
to Pote.
Okay,
I
I
okay,
think
we'll
that's
get
the
there.
thing. I think she's got to prove that she's not like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that she's constantly saying that, like, why is she a better choice than Camila, kind of thing.
Well, she doesn't have the longevity. Like, she has the smarts and she can talk the talk, but can she actually, like,
Exactly,
deliver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since she has had a hard time like killing people in the past.
And to neither of them, she hasn't delivered to either of them, though, has she really? She's only ever delivered anything to Camila. She's never, like, held up the end of a bargain, because most of this communication has been fairly new, right?
No, I mean, that first shipment went through.
Yeah.
You know, oh, actually, they brought that first shipment, right? In the... No, yeah, he came through with that first shipment. So,
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
he gets a cut of all that stuff.
Right.
You know, when it comes back. So that's a lot of money. I mean, but that, at the same time, Camila's the lead of that. You know, it's like, can Teresa raise the bar and become the queen? She's brilliant, and I think anybody that is around her knows that. But it's a matter of, she has a lot of morals, and it's like, can that survive in this world? You know, like.
Yeah, makes sense.
And it makes sense then too, because I remember we'll bring Pote in, and then you can give us your accent.
Okay, I'll give you both.
But I was questioning him at the beginning because I was like, why is he so against Teresa like rising? Why is he pushing back so hard? And I literally wrote, is he being logical, or is he used to the old ways? And then at the end of the episode, when he says, "You're no Camila, you're better," I was
You're
like,
no Camila.
Yeah. There it is.
I got
You're
Camila,
better,
I got Pote.
Teresita. You're
Oh
better. No, he's great.
I think you did a better Pote than I did at King George.
Hey!
What a compliment. Look at that.
Thank you. I love Pote. He's an amazing character, but he always has that gym. So I was waiting to see where that would come in. He's like the calm in the storm of everything.
No, he is. He's the logic behind it. So it's like emotions and everything. And it's weird seeing that, because usually she's the one being logical. The only time that we've ever really seen her emotional is with Güero. So that was wow. I just thought of that. That was an interesting concept.
Switch,
Is that was that something that you guys thought of in the writers' room, of we're gonna make Teresa have to go through some emotional changes, even without a man to distract her?
No, I mean, definitely. I think the rise to be queen, that transformation you need to go through is like on all levels. You know, it's an elemental shift of like, can you raise the bar for yourself, and the nature of your relationships, because, you know, Pote's had this relationship with her this whole time where he's been like her protector, and all of a sudden when Teresa's having to make some bold moves, that suddenly is like straight up putting like herself in danger. He's like, yo, I'm your protector, like, and that's not really his role. You know, she needs somebody that's going to work with her, because she's going to be something great. Like, so he, just like everybody else, has to like adjust the way they think about her. You know, like, you got to make some bold moves to get ahead, you know, but at the same time, it's like, even like, can you do those bold moves and retain who you are? You know,
That line she said when they were confronted, I can't remember the exact words, but she was like, he said something about being her protector or something along those lines, and she was like, oh, like the way that you watched me get raped.
Yeah.
And then he just walks away. I don't remember what, I didn't write down the exact line.
he was basically saying to her, like, you're making a stupid move. You're taking these street thugs who you don't know and that you have not proven themselves to you, like, and giving them guns. Yeah, and giving them this trust that they haven't earned, essentially. And his whole thing is like, trust has to be earned. And he feels like he does trust her in a huge way, but does he trust her to make the right decisions? Because she's never had this power to be the leader, and she's stepping out and having to make these moves, and he's questioning her, and then she turns around on him like, would you question Camila this way? And he's, like, no. Would you, he's got to throw it back at her, like, you're not Camila. You haven't had, like, decades of
work.
building
Yeah.
to become Camila, you know.
Yeah.
It made me sad that she kind of threw that in his face because he's
Yeah.
always been there for her.
Mm-hmm.
He's always protected her, like we said, and always have her best interest at heart. So when she kind of threw that in there, like I kind of was like, check mark against her. But at the end of the day, he's not going to go anywhere. Like we know that he wants the best for her.
It's a little fight, you know.
Yeah.
Little lovers quarrel.
I feel like you're the hardest on the people that you love, that you're closest to, because you know that they're going to come back. So like,
because they can hurt you.
Yeah.
They can actually hurt you. Like the fact that he says you're no Camila to her, like, you know.
Anyone else could say that to me and it wouldn't matter.
Right.
Say that to you?
No, like, yes, exactly. That really wouldn't matter. No. No, it really wouldn't bother me at all.
Oh my gosh. That exact wording and everything is applicable to every part of her life.
I can't.
We have so an interesting conversation going on in the chat. Someone asked, Yaki, I think he said we could call him, said, anyone sick of Teresa's savior complex? And then a lot of people are saying, yes, I'm a bit tired of her martyr complex. Thank God I'm not alone on my feelings with this one. Ryan, do you have any?
Yeah, I think that's her big thing, right? Is that she wants to save everybody. She wants to be able to live in a criminal world and do criminal things, but still be a good guy. And it's like,
Can't have your cake and eat it too.
Who else in that world has been able to do that? Even somebody like King George, who, as you see in the episode, like does have her back and like does have love for his men and stuff like that. I mean, when he first starts out in the season, he's, you know, doing horrible shit. You know, it's like, I don't know if you can keep that. And so she's trying as hard as she can to like be the person she thinks she can be while doing a business that is, you know, criminal empire. You know, it's people die from it. People do drugs. You know, you don't really see you're just seeing the business of it. You know.
Is that the symbolism, I cannot talk tonight, of the white suit that she wears?
What's that?
Is that why she wears a white suit?
What do you mean?
She's being a martyr, and she's being always trying to be so pure within a criminal world and try to keep her morals up. Is that the reason why you guys put her in white?
I actually didn't put her in white. That's first season. You know, she's in the and and she, I think it's a great symbol of this
purity of a sense.
I think it can mean a lot of different things to different people.
I've always heard like white hat of being like the person that's wearing the white hat. So I assumed that it was something along those lines, but it kind of ties in with the.
But I think I think in the book, like Teresa Mendoza gets to this place where she operates on her level, but she's also will be a ruthless killer when she has to be. So it's like, it's like the black hat or the white hat. Are you wearing the white hat? That's interesting. Yeah. I haven't thought about the white hat.
I mean, you can always justify anything technically if you really think about it. If there's killing for a cause, you can almost somehow justify within her world. I feel like, I don't know. That's just my.
No, that's that's a really good analysis of that. Everyone's saying yes, I agree.
Still waiting. Low key. What are we still waiting for?
Oh, those Nazis got the let's
I was like, wait, are we waiting for talking?
Let's talk about that scene for a long time actually, because there was a lot going on there. Teresa's clearly taking over. They need to get some weapons in order to follow through with getting back with what's originally hers, the co-criminal Santo. So they get Traviesa, our girl Snow. Little T and Big T, they get their men together or her friends, and they come over to this skinhead's compound, I guess, or hideaway, and run into some Nazis. What did you guys think of that entire scene?
It hurt. I feel like it's so
fresh,
timely,
too soon.
It's just, and it's amazing that you guys wrote this and shot this how long ago, and then now.
Yeah, a few months ago.
Yeah. But it's so.
You know what though? Like something that's so great about this show. I think I said before, I'm like the only white person on the writing staff. Everybody else is like, you know, it's just a blend of all different people. It's really rad. But when the election happened, there was this like everybody was like super pissed and it was like depressed and Natalie, our showrunner, came in, who's Mexican, and came in and said, you know what, we're not going to talk about it. And she's like, this is what I think about that. I think this show is an opportunity for us to say something about it, you know? And so that image of that scene for me from the very beginning actually was like that shot of her being like here's a little piece of Mexico to like this horrific person. And it's just the fact that it's actually kind of sad that it's so apropos at the moment, you know, but it is.
But I think it gives us an opportunity to start the conversation that you guys originally had in mind. Like, people are able to talk about it in such a like open way. It's not just, I mean, such a wide demographic watching the show. Like, it gives you something to talk about. That's not so like PC. You can talk about a show and it be completely honest and like heartfelt about it.
It's a great segue into harder conversations.
It's interesting because they're, you know, it's just like they're so, like these Nazis. Yes. Like,
you can say.
Or they're like the worst thing around. But at the same time, like she's a member of like a hardcore gang that I'm sure does a bunch of dark shit also. But I think at the end of the day, I'm always gonna side with almost anybody against Nazis.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't matter.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Give me a pack of vampires.
Yeah. No, that was a really
that went
extremely
crazy.
powerful scene. It'll be interesting to see on Twitter and online, like where people kind of take that conversation.
Yeah.
And go off of that. I mean, way to use your art for.
Thanks, man. I mean, I feel really blessed to. Yeah, man.
Seriously.
I feel blessed to be doing something that gets to kind of say something in like in these little tiny bursts, you know, with a group of people that have a lot to say. I mean, everybody, we always talk about it. You know, lunch comes, and that's just what we talk about at lunch, like the whole time.
Best.
Yeah.
That sounds like an amazing place to work,
Yeah,
right?
true.
Just talk about all that. That's great.
I'm like guilty of always starting conversations like that, and then my friends are like,
Okay, let's change it to something happy.
anytime you guys want to invite me over, let me know. But
Someone
then,
is saying congratulations and great job on tonight's episode.
Oh, thank you so much.
And then we have
Glad you guys liked it.
Loli Uresti, so she's sitting right next to Boaz. Look at that.
Oh,
Everyone's
hey.
That handsome devil.
up?
What's up? Hello.
Yeah.
We'll see him next week.
Yeah, we will. And let's talk about our man James. Or maybe not our man James.
Oh, James.
Traitor.
Take out the first two words. Don't like him anymore. Done.
No.
I was so Team James and he just broke my heart.
He's gone. But you know what? One thing. He could have shot her dead.
He could have. I think he missed on purpose. I think he missed on purpose.
No, I'm with you.
There's
I
no
completely
way.
agree.
How can you miss that shot? They were so close to each other.
He's a trained shooter. He was knocking out all those people
Yeah.
earlier. Real
Okay, I get it. I agree. I really don't like him anymore.
I
Even
don't
to shoot
either.
and miss. What if that shit ricochets and it hits her anyway? Come on.
Then he would feel bad. But I think there's still.
And her dead, she feels bad. Okay, that's equal punishment.
Lately,
He would have been like,
Oh no!
I didn't mean to.
No.
That wasn't the plan.
Bring her back.
Hey, that
Doesn't
happens
work
a
like that.
lot. Y'all watch the news. That happens a lot. People are like,
Ricochets, man.
And they come back to
not
life.
the ricochet.
Number one killer.
Not the, no, don't sass me. Don't sass me. I'm talking about people accidentally killing. Anyways.
No. Well, there was someone that did not accidentally kill somebody in this episode either. We have not talked about.
Bring it up. Let's go.
That shot though.
That clear
Right in the
shot.
head.
Right in the head.
Oh, yeah.
Gustavo.
Pedro, what the hell?
What did you
man?
do? What did you do?
Dare you, man.
Just savage. That was your girl. That
Oh,
was...
he's answering. No,
No,
he's not.
Somebody-
Okay.
somebody
He's
else.
diverting the question. I see you. I
Yeah.
see you
No.
in there.
He'll
See what you're
comment and
doing.
we'll see it. Dang, little Pedro. We thought he was just the annoying kid in that one episode with the coronel who kind of gave them up. I didn't think that he would
Thanks,
have
Michael
this much
Archie.
power. Oh, look at that.
Aw.
Oh, nice.
Okay, as much as I hate James, I agree with him.
They're saying we need more James backstory, and that's true.
Yeah, we
Okay.
really
We
don't
get to
know.
see that?
I can't tell you.
I I mean, we do have season 3, guys. So
Yeah.
even if we don't get in the next episode,
If James is alive, season 3.
He'll make it.
Yeah.
He'll make
well, we know Teresa's making it. That's the only solid we've got.
She's
the only one.
Pote is in that.
Oh, he's solid. So we got 2 solids.
Yeah.
Good
people.
memory. Good memory.
Yes.
Thanks.
2.
Usually
That's
it's not that good. So. Selective memory, as my mother would say. But Pedro, man.
Oh,
all
ask the
these
one right
guys-
next to you. He said, "Why? Why did he shoot her in the head?"
Yeah. What was the? Walk us through the
It would have
process.
been. It would have taken so much longer for her to die if she shot her in the throat and she's coughing and there's blood.
But
and-
why did you need to kill her?
What was that? What was the
Yeah.
decision?
Why
in
did
the
Why did
writers' room?
Pedro
Yeah.
decide to kill her?
Yeah.
I think Pedro's in this position where he's probably never killed anybody in his whole life, and he's got to prove himself. His uncles are there, you know. He's the young guy, and he's orchestrated this whole thing, and I think in that moment he's kind of being challenged,
Okay.
and Kike also is saying, "Please, brother, you know we've known each other our whole lives," and I think in a moment of like I need to.
I'll kill anybody.
Yeah, let me get that out. If my heart is slowly like hearing Kike, let me shove it down. Let me cross the line so that now I'm in, like fully in, you know. And I thought Gustavo did a great job on that, like of him, of even the moment after he kills her when he comes back from commercial and he's like, you got something to say, and you can tell he's a little messed up by what he's done, but has to try and stand tall.
I was like,
Yeah,
"Good
and even
shot,
when he
too."
wasn't speaking, you could see the emotional battle all in his face, and I really liked that performance. That was great.
It was almost like an
Good
adrenaline
job, man.
rush that he had too.
Yeah.
Like he almost had that like borderline of like he enjoyed it, but not enough. Like he's still feeling it, but it almost looked like he was like kind of proud of himself that he did it.
He
Yeah,
enjoyed
yeah.
I think he enjoyed the power from it, but
Yes.
Yeah.
he's
Not
sad that it was
necessarily
his
what.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
He's like, oh, I'll have more.
I mean,
And,
for not
and it
killing
was like
anybody, that's a clean shot.
they did kill his dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
that's
Like if he
true, yeah.
loved his dad and they murdered his dad and took all the money
Stripped
from his
everything
side
from
of the
him.
took everything from his side of the family, and he's just kind of rolling along with I originally had something in there where he was we had to cut it down, but like where it was basically revealed that Kike was kind of like paying his way along that, and like that was like humiliating to him, you know,
Okay.
in a lot, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
That would have been cool to see. I know there was a reason it was.
You're always getting it down to the root,
It
right?
would have been amazing to see that. It's crazy and amazing to me how you guys are. I didn't expect these characters to go through such intense developments. I thought honestly, like you see a show that's about like Narcos-esque, like drug-related, and you're like, oh, everyone's gonna be kind of like the stereotypical characters, but no, like everyone has blindsided us completely. Just great writing.
There was
from
so
all of
much
it.
in this
Thanks, man.
episode.
Yeah.
Pretty
There was
cool.
just
There
so
was
much.
a lot.
There
yeah.
was a lot
and
in
we
there.
even have Epifanio, who is one of the most, I feel, tortured characters emotionally. Just everything he goes through. I mean, in the last episode, he's willing to give it all up for his family,
Yeah.
and then his daughter. Not only is his wife already turned from him, but now his daughter's
Turning from
gone.
him too.
Yeah. And every time he thinks he like has a grasp on something, it slips right out of his fingers.
He's just trying so hard.
I know. I feel bad for him. I just
do.
want him to get some good. But we do see Epifanio and Camila are finally teaming up like we predicted.
But the way, yes. So kudos on that. But the way that she got to Epifanio, though, hello,
Yeah.
like had to go through a seizure to get to
It's the cartel way, man.
That was intense.
ride or die.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Veronica, though, that was a...
Yeah, that was an amazing performance on her
great
end.
performance.
Yeah, she like really researched. Like her and I were writing back and forth to each other about like different what the action she's taking and like what effects it would have and what kind of a seizure it would be. She wanted to be really specific.
What did she take?
Yeah.
For those not familiar.
Seizure-inducing pills.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I
Takes
can't
a
remember the
sip
name
of-
of it. I can't remember
But-
the name of it.
I thought you were trying to be sneaky.
The
no.
amount that she went through, like she looked physically like she was putting herself through a lot to
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of this.
totally.
Like how many takes did you guys do of that?
200, 300 takes. I'm just joking. No, I don't
was
remember.
like,
I don't remember. I
oh,
don't remember
God.
anything.
I don't believe
No,
that.
it wasn't that money. You're not gonna. You wouldn't want to put her through. I mean, especially
Yeah.
what's so great about it is just like you probably could have just used the first take because
Right.
she's so good. Like, yeah, it was. I think it was just a few takes and moving on.
That was a lot.
That's amazing.
I watched it. I was like, oh my God. Like, you really feel it when she was doing
Yeah.
it. So
That
it's
whole
good.
that whole night though, when we were shooting that, what was so crazy was we only had one shot at the crash. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Did
Like
you guys
like.
actually crash?
Oh yeah, totally crashed. Like I think I have a video on my phone. I'll show it to you. But of it, it's like there was a guy in there. He's loaded down. He's padded with all this stuff, and he's gonna drive that van, and a huge truck is gonna crash right into him.
Oh my God.
You know, the stunt guys, they get an extra bump if they do a crash, but that's a big crash of having like a semi truck basically
Yeah.
plow into you, and he was okay in the end, but it was like I was like watching when those guys burned in 10. Like, because I think you can only burn for like 30 seconds, and then they have to like put you out, like, and it's just a swarm of people. That the second the stunt's done, it's just like, whoa, is everybody good? Are you good? And like, they had such a good stunt team.
So no
'Cause
one
they
was
have to
harmed
cover
on set?
themselves.
Nobody was
like-
harmed.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
They have to cover themselves in like some type of like jelly or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. You like on that crazy Game of Thrones.
Oh,
I'll talk to
know.
you.
I don't
Yeah.
watch it.
Sorry.
That's all right,
Neither of
that's
us
all
watch.
right. But there's this amazing shot of it's like the most people ever burned on a show that not this last episode, but this episode before Game of Thrones, where this dragon comes down, just
And
like I
burns
think it's 25
everybody.
people, just
Yeah.
like just light it up, and yeah, But I think if you look closely, I think they're even wearing like protective masks that look like human faces.
Oh.
They're like gelled up, like
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
I didn't know this.
No.
Now
It's
I
crazy.
do.
for one quick shot.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many people per person did they have to have on that set if you really think about it?
What
Because
do you
like to put them out, like how many people did you have to have on the sidelines to put all
Oh
those
yeah,
people
yeah.
out?
There was, and everybody was just waiting, and it's interesting. You don't, and then you just see just it on the screen.
Dang,
Yeah.
Stunt
That's
people
fun.
better get paid like a whole lot of money for
Mm-hmm.
that. Let me almost kill myself. Like, That's
Oh my
ridiculous. And I know we've mentioned it a lot, but just character development. Let's talk about Isabella and how she's really taking on her mama.
Called that
Yes.
too.
Yeah, we
We
did.
did. The very beginning, we were
called
like,
it.
she's going to end
She's
up
making
turning
the
into
earth.
her mother and end up either taking over or she's just going to have a lot of characteristics of her mother. And she's smart.
The way
10
that she
million,
stood
we
up to
get
Pedro,
2,
yeah.
you get 8. Like, okay. Yeah.
She's the one who came up with the plan,
Yeah.
not
Right.
Pedro.
Yeah, smart.
And
smart
even put
girl.
on the act via,
Yeah.
like with the video phone to her. or
Which I'm
video message
surprised
to
the
them in
parents didn't see through that. Because, I mean, my parents, if I fake cried in front of them, they'd be like, okay,
But
calm
their parents
down.
don't know her.
They don't know her.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've,
And
they've
they're
never
close.
seen her kidnapped face.
And there's so many other like emotions and distractions going on.
Yeah,
They're not
that's true.
even thinking about could this be fake. They're
Yeah.
just like, where's my daughter? Let's go get her.
Yeah, yeah.
If only they knew.
Well, they're
Only.
teaming up. They're going to take him out.
They are. Maybe. Maybe the whole family will be back together.
But then is Teresa going to
don't
go
know.
against all 3? If you really think about it.
that would be
Oh.
intense to see. Oh, I would like to see.
Go against the whole.
Or maybe like season finale, North Korea. Everybody's done.
Oh my
So it got so dark. So
Oh my
Yes, of
God.
all
She-
of our characters.
she
We're like,
she
no.
whispered that to me. So
No, I did not.
We have a message from Horas saying, tell Ryan to stop talking about Game of Thrones.
Oh my god. I heard that you guys two have great banter.
we do have epic banter about. He's never even seen Game of Thrones.
Well, you
Not-
know what?
I'm in the
We're
wrong
on
company.
our side
We'll
of
be
the
on your
table.
team,
Whatever.
Jorge.
3
Corey's
against
never seen
2.
it.
Yes.
3
You don't know what
against
you're missing.
2. We got it. I mean, we pretty much got every character,
Somehow.
main character.
I don't
Yeah,
know
we
how
got
we did
through
that.
it. Despite
There's a lot
being
of-
shook, we
Right.
got through it.
All the violence, all the
Uh-huh.
There was a
death,
lot of blood.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
a lot of
was-
shooting.
I don't know how you guys do it in that writer's room. Like, oh, you know, it would be really cool if like all this blood comes out. This
Let's
this
kill
person
10
gets
people.
shot, if we get this close-up shot, do you guys talk about that, or is that more Natalie's decision?
Of
or
what? everything's
the
Natalie's
detail.
decision at the end of the day.
Okay.
Like she's like a queen in Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jorge? It's just like that. She rules. No, I mean, so everything goes to her in the end, but you know, actual shots and stuff like that. That's Eduardo Sanchez, who directed this episode. He directed Blair Witch Project.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he's directed a bunch of stuff, but he did such a good job. He actually directed the 3rd episode of the season too, where they're they're going after the tunnels, and the militia men came in. He did such a good job. We were like, oh God, gotta have him back, and he did an awesome job.
So he's the one that kind of calls besides Natalie, the one that calls the shots in terms of like how close up a scene is going to be, like the visuals.
Yeah, that's a conversation between the director, and our DP, our cinematographer, John Brawley, who is amazing, who you guys would love. He's as good as they come as a person, but he's also just wickedly talented. And then they choose the shots and they choose what they're going to do, and then if the writer who's there is on set producing. So basically you're watching through the monitor, and if you have a note or you think it's not quite doing what Natalie wants necessarily, you say something at that point. But for the most part, you're trying to support the director and just like everybody is on set, and the actors.
And I have to ask this other question: how do you guys break the news to the actors that this is their final episode and they out?
Luckily, I don't have to do that. Like that is another thing that comes with being like the captain. That Natalie has to do that stuff.
Is that something that they find out at the beginning of the season, or
no? Not usually. Like, because we're still writing as we go along. There was 8 writers this season, so when we started writing, we all wrote one script. So it was like 8 scripts that were done pretty much by the time they started pre-production on the first episode. So you really only had 8 scripts in, and story-wise, I mean, we had ideas of what the whole rest of the season would be, but like you still develop those as you go along, So, the short of it is no. Like we didn't know who, Olivia didn't know that she was going to die, stuff like that.
I always think of, I don't know if anybody's a Friends fan, but the episode where Joey gets the script delivered to him and he reads it and then he realizes he dies. Do they just read the script and then find out what to do with it themselves?
But if you're one of the major actors, you might read outlines, or what happens is you'll probably wait for the script, but some of the main designers, like the costume designer and stuff like that, they all get outlines in advance, and so they probably will be like, oh, and then that gets around really quick.
Of course.
So you never want it to be like, somebody's on set and somebody comes up to him and is like, sorry, man. I mean, you're one of my favorite characters. I love you. And they're like, what? You never want. So even before something like that could possibly escape and get out there, Natalie would, or if they're just in one episode and then they're gone, like they'll, you're being hired with that script in mind, and they know that going in. Yeah. I've died so many times as an actor on stuff. I could make the most horrific montage for my mom. My mom see me die in so many different ways, like on The Last Tycoon.
You died on that?
I jump off this thing face first into the ground, and it was so intense because they had me on this harness, but it went from in rehearsal, it was 50% free fall, and it was really high up, super high. You're like, whoa, it's so high. 50% free fall drop, and then 50% it starts to catch you, and you can kind of feel it slow you down.
Oh my god!
And then when we actually shot, it went up to 80%.
Oh my god!
And they were like, can we do 85? They were like, you won't be able to feel the difference, and I could totally feel the difference.
God.
But I know what it would feel like to commit suicide head first.
Oh my god, no!
Do you get to say anything? Nah, hell no, I'm not doing that. Bringing a stuntman?
I didn't want to look like a wuss.
I would love to do that. That would be so much fun, though. Was it fun? Was it like an adrenaline rush?
It was definitely an adrenaline rush for sure, and it was fun, but it was definitely maybe Stunt guy could take it this time.
Right.
Except I really love the Billy Ray, who is the creator of it and directed it. Like, was somebody came up to me and was actually like, of course we could have a stunt guy do this, but Billy would, he'd really love it if you would do it. And I was just like, okay, okay, how high is it? How is it like? Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
I would have said no. Bring the stunt guy. And then we
I
had a
would've done
question in the chat
You
that
wouldn't
I
have
thought
I
was
would have.
Yeah.
amazing. And they're asking, since you guys didn't know that season 3 obviously was going to happen, these last 2 episodes, were there any? Is this kind of what you thought was going to be the end, and this is it, done with Queen of the South? Or
Yeah,
did you guys
we
get
had
to
to
add
at
in
the
some
very
elements?
when we found out about that, we had to pull the North Korea thing. I'm just joking. So it's wrong. Stop. It was her idea. I swear. It's so stupid. I'm so sorry about the North Korea joke. No, you. I don't think we planned for it to be like the end of things. I mean, we have a really awesome, fan base that watches it and seems so supportive, and all the writers watch all the Twitter. I read all the Twitter stuff as it comes out, like from both East Coast and West Coast. It's really, really fun, and it's been doing really well. It's the #1 show on USA in the 18 to 49 demographic, which is like the prime time, and I think it's #3 like on the network period. So we had a strong feeling that it was coming back, but you never know.
Of course,
You know what I mean? Like, so no, we weren't gearing it towards like it would be 2 seasons now.
So what would have happened if USA just completely pulled the rug out from under you guys and this was it?
That happens to shows all the time,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
like,
What do you do as a writer? Like, you go on
You,
YouTube and upload them there, or
no,
what?
as a writer, you go to your agent like, I need a job, like, yeah, please, I need a job. No, I that happens all the time. I mean, how many shows do you watch? One season, you're like, oh, the show's pretty cool,
Yeah.
and that will be the only
And they're
season
gone.
you'll ever
Freaks and
see.
Geeks gone
Yeah.
too soon.
Right?
I
All I
watched
have to
one this
say,
season,
yeah.
and they ended up shooting 11 episodes and only aired 7. They just
Wow.
cut it off. I was like, oh no,
You know,
They do that
it's
to you.
horrible.
that happened to I wrote for a show that Noah Hawley, who created Fargo, and Fargo was such a smash hit, but the show that went to air prior to that was My Generation. I think they yanked it after 3 episodes or something like that. Like,
Wow.
and you know what I mean?
That's
and you're
it.
like, oh my God, you could feel like I'm totally defeated, and yet he came back with Fargo, which is pretty
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, let's jump into some predictions.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Yeah, we have a ton. Oh, no
Well,
music
the whole.
Oh,
Right?
Oh, there we go.
There you go. You were our music.
I was. They didn't like it, so they shut it down. They're
They're like, oh.
like, we're gonna stop that, Candice. Oh, they turned it up.
Just for you. Ashley, do you want to start us?
Okay. I think that Isabella, I feel like she's going to try, well, she is taking on her mother's traits, but I kind of feel like it's not going to be good for her. Like, I don't know. I feel something bad coming in that situation. I can't wait for Epifanio and me, Camila, to team up. This is going to be great. James.
Oh, there's a lot of anger there. Oh, no.
He better watch out
Mm.
because
Yes.
Teresa is going to get
I
him.
thought you were going to flip your hair as you said
I
that.
should've.
The way you were grabbing it.
There you go.
Teresa is coming back.
Teresa's coming. And as far as Teresa, I think now that she is rising up in power, I feel like she needs to let Pote guide her a little bit. Like, don't be so defensive. Like, listen to him. He's here to help you. So I think if she follows her gut, listens to him, everything will go good.
There you go.
Your predictions.
You want to throw us
Oh,
off?
I have a lot of predictions.
No, nothing.
No.
Oh, dang! I
That's-
thought I was gonna break them.
I think
Sorry.
I'll go with
You were very persuasive.
somebody said that I would have saved myself from the North Korea thing if I talked about like, you know, nuclear fallout, and like that's what's gonna happen. Like, so that's my prediction.
Nuclear fallout.
It's just like 3-legged children and like.
Oh,
I tried, man.
I swear,
tried.
you and children.
It's not. It
Scares
wasn't me. It wasn't my. It wasn't my idea.
It's what it.
I
You
need to
did
stop
write all
listening
that
to
on
other
the
people
Oh.
about.
It's all Ashley.
It's all her. She is Camila.
I'm Camila.
The voice. Every
So don't
time.
listen to my predictions.
Okay.
Yeah, we weren't.
I can't win tonight, guys. I can't win.
Go, kid. Let's go.
To be honest, I'm really good at predictions normally, and this one, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I think that James isn't gonna last much longer. I think that they're gonna end up tangoing a little bit, him and Teresa, and I don't know in the regards of whether he's gonna die or if he's gonna like just leave or jump to her side. Yeah. There's gonna be a big decision that's made in James. I just don't know what it is yet, because there's no like, he kind of left me hanging, and he didn't run away. So the fact that he ran away and didn't like continue to fight makes me think that like something's gonna happen. Like he didn't fight Pote, he didn't stay around, like didn't continue flexing his muscles, and he ran back like a little puppy dog to Camila, and I did not like him at that moment at all.
Mama's boy to the extreme.
As for Epifanio and Camila, I think that those two are going to unite forces, and I think Epifanio will get dragged back into the cartel, because somehow when you love something so much, you just can't let it go. And then after fighting for Isabella to come back, I think he'll hop back in and join forces with Camila. And then Teresa's just going to be Teresa. She's going to become the queen more. So that's it. That's all I got.
Oh, those are good predictions.
Thanks.
Mine is short. James is out.
Yep.
Guido's out. Epifanio's
Guido's
out.
going to die too?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about it. He's going to
Wait,
Epifanio.
This is, let me elaborate.
Is this
Let me
based off of my
elaborate.
thing?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
all based off of your thing. No,
Nukes it all.
this is actually, I'm going off of Candice. I just don't see James lasting any longer. I feel like his characters, I feel like he's developed enough as a character, and this is his unraveling, and this is where we're going to see the end of him, unless y'all pull the rug from under me and he decides to join Teresa's team. That's the only way I could see him staying. I still think Guido's going to go after Epifanio, because we got that little clip of him staring at the like Vargas poster. So I think he'll have a little one-on-one with him, but because obviously Epifanio's more powerful, has more men on his side, even though he's by himself, he still has people that are loyal to him. That'll be an easy take out to Guido. And just the way that Epifanio's storyline is going, I just feel like it's going to be a sad one, where he's finally, like, he'll finally have Camila, finally be with Isabella, and then boom, something's going to happen, and we won't see him anymore.
I'm concerned because if you really think about all the people that are about to unite on one side on the Vargas cartel, like, it really seems that Teresa's understaffed here.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, if you really think
Just
about
a
it.
tad.
But we also forgot about a very important person that's coming on our episode next week. What's going to happen to him?
Oh.
Just saying.
That's true. Well, we didn't
haven't.
see him this
He looked like a
episode.
clown last episode. A very scary clown.
Very
But
scary clown,
Dirty
as the
one.
kids said.
dirty one. Go from really gross to dirty. He's a dirty
You
clown.
don't know if he was dirty. He could have washed thoroughly and then put that
Oh,
stuff
that
on.
would
I'm
have
sure that's exactly what happened. Oh my god. Yeah,
I'm
that'll
not
be
going
it.
for it.
You have to
It'll be
see where that
interesting to
comes
see him
in.
kind of wind back in. 'Cause
And El
usually-
Santo, too.
And
Like,
Santo.
she's
Yeah,
going with
everyone's
it.
coming back this last episode.
It's going to be a big family reunion.
This is why we're having
Of
two,
everything.
This is why we're having
Big
two
picnic.
after show.
Yes, it's a picnic. Everyone's
It's a
going to sit
cartel
down and
picnic.
just
Yeah.
like have nice,
Family reunion.
nice dinner. I mean, we saw how the last family reunion went for.
That one, well.
That was bad.
Oh my gosh. Well,
That went really dark really quick.
clearly we're all taking a dark turn. It's late. But thank you guys so much for joining us and enjoying all of our predictions and jokes, and thanks for sticking
Impressions.
around.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thanks
our
for watching,
impressions.
guys.
Thanks for watching. You guys are
Yes.
amazing. Be sure to go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Tell them about it. Listen to it on the way to work via podcast on Stitcher, on iTunes, or play the YouTube video and just don't watch it while you're driving, because we know we all do that sometimes. Nope, just me? Okay. Anyways, you guys can find me, Leslie Ambriz, on Instagram and Twitter at In Less Than No Time.
And I'm Candice Cruz. You can find me on all of my social media at Candice R. Cruz.
And my name is Ryan Onan, and my Twitter is I am Ryan Onan, and my Instagram is Onan the Barbarian.
Forgot it there for a
I
second.
was like,
Just
And I'm Ashley Allan. You can find me on all social media at Ashley Reed Allen.
And thank you
Yay.
to Pedro for joining us via
Yeah,
chat.
Gustavo.
Yay.
Thank you for the horrible advice, Michael Archie, about the three-legged children.
Oh no!
Oh no.
And thank you so much again for joining us.
Yeah,
We really love having you.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same without you. A second time in a row. Thanks, guys, so much. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.